Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Shafiqa Saleh, your moderator for today. Welcome everyone to Get It Right, a quiz game show where students from different major battling out in answering questions to win a grand prize of 10,000 ringgit Malaysia. Now let's meet our contestant for today. Both are from International Islamic University Malaysia. First up is Nurul Natasha binti Darmalis, a third-year student majoring in English Language and Literature. Next contestant is Nurul Alia Natasha binti Abu Hanifah, also a third-year student majoring in Arabic Language and Literature. So, our theme for today will be on the pronunciation of ed alamov.
Quiz time.
First question. How do you pronounce the past tense of the verb inform?
I would like to answer that. Dr. Maskana already told us about this. How to pronounce the alamov. An example, past tense form of the verb inform. How do you pronounce it? It will be informed. Informed.
Correct. The right pronunciation of the past tense form for the verb inform is informed.
Verbs that end in a voice sound, the ed ending sound, is pronounced as a t. There is no extra syllable added. Other examples such as the verb solve, live, and use.
The second question. How do you pronounce the past tense form of the verb cook?
Is the answer cooked?
Incorrect. Would Tasha like to answer?
I would like to answer. What song is this? Cooked. I love you like cooked food. It is cooked.
Correct. The right pronunciation of the past tense for the verb cook is cooked.
Verbs that end in a voiceless sound, the ed ending sound is pronounced as a t. There is no extra syllable added. Other examples such as the verb fish, booked, talk.
So we will proceed to the third question. How do you pronounce the past tense form of verb visit?
Oh no, my mind suddenly blank. Oh, I want to answer this. Hi Sarah, where are you? Why you did not attend our discussion yesterday? I'm sorry, my parents had visited me yesterday. The answer is visited.
Correct. The right pronunciation of the past tense form for the verb visit is
Visited. Verbs that end in a t or d sound, the ed ending sound is pronounced as it or it. Other examples such as the verb acted, blinded, and lasted.
Settled. Settled. Stopped. Left. Finished. Watch it.
okay. We have finished answering all 100 questions, and both the participants had answered very well while still making a few mistakes. The winner of the grand prize of 10,000 ringgit Malaysia is to be announced in the next episode. See you guys next time.
Hello everyone, so I hope you enjoyed our video just now. Now we will be presenting on our topic in a more detailed form. So our topic's main title is the acquisition of ED pastime allomophs by learners of English. So let's get to it. To start, let's talk about the background study of this topic. Majority of Malaysian population speaks English as their second language. This is because Malaysia have been exposed to the English language since kindergarten or some in primary school. So, the focus of this study is on the past time ED, which is a bound morpheme combined with a verb that is used to indicate past action.
Okay, for the statement of the problems, students nowadays have problems with identifying the correct usage of forms and pronunciation of the ED past time elements. They tend to absorb what they have learned from their surroundings, mainly during school time, from teachers, lecturers, and friends. Even though students were exposed to formal learning of grammatical rules, most of them had problems applying the rules of past time ED allomophs in coming up with sentences and pronouncing it. Past time ED allomophs is considered hard to learn because there are three ending sounds of pronunciation, which are the, and id.
Literature review is about the pronunciation acquisition of the inflectional morpheme ed in English by the Nicaraguan Spanish speaker. In this paper, they found that no significant difference among the three levels of English proficiency on the performance of the least marked allomoth, it of the ED finding. And they found the error rate for all proficiency level was small, with 20%, 28%, and 23% for the beginner, intermediate, and high intermediate level. This paper actually, they want to see the level of proficiency level. And then next for the pronunciation, more marked phonology version of the ED morpheme. The finding were that proficiency level played a significant role. For example, in the production of the results revealed a significant pronunciation error decrease with 87% for high beginners, 42% for intermediate, and 9% for high intermediate.
I will talk about the methodology for this study. This study have 30 respondents among IIUM students, which is a 15 from English major student and another 15 is from non-English major. And this study using mixed methods, which is combination of qualitative and quantitative methods. And there are two types of data collection we use, which is the first one, we prepare a paragraph that contains a number of ED past time allomoth in it and ask the respondent to read it. But we didn't inform the respondent first before they answer the survey to make sure that the result from it clear and natural. And the second one is we prepare a survey form for them to answer and asking this question related to their backgrounds. Most of it is about the external factors that might affect their ED pastime allomoth.
So talking about the findings, we have divided into 4 subtopics for our findings, which consists of the first is on pronunciation of ED allomoth by our participant. We divided into 2, English majors and non-English major. And then the second part will be on the external factors on their acquisition of the past tense ED allomoth, in which we also divided into firstly English majors and also non-English majors.
So going into the first finding, which is on the pronunciation of ed past time allomophs by non-English majors through our audio interview, what we can say is, from the audio interview, it can be seen that majority of English major students, participants were able to correctly pronounce the past time ed allomophs. So majority were able to pronounce it. In all, the majority of them did not make even a single mistake in their pronunciation, while some made mistakes about 3 to 4 out of a total of 18 past time ed from the passage. There was only one English major participant that had made 7 mistakes in total. So only 7 that made severe mistake. From this, we can see how the majority of English major participants had already acquired the correct pronunciation of the past time ed allomorph. When looking based on the categories of the allomorph of past time ed, the major mistakes in pronunciation was made in regards to the ending sound de, in which 15 mistakes were made from 6 students. The verb involved were inform, cancel, change, travel, and realize. Secondly, for the ending sound t, 6 mistakes were made from 5 students, in which the verbs were watch, cook, and walk. Lastly, the least mistakes that was made was regarding the ending sound it, in which 5 mistakes were made from 4 students in total. The verbs included were learn, started, and enjoyed.
Results and discussion of pronunciation of ed past time allomorph by non-English major students. Most of the participants who were non-English major students make mistakes in pronouncing ed past time allomorph, where most of them had an average of 7 to 8 mistakes in pronouncing ed past time allomorph each person. There were only 2 out of 15 non-English major students who had 3 mispronounced out of 17 words in the passage provided. And there was a student who had the most wrong pronunciation with 10 words out of 17 words. Most of them had trouble pronouncing the ed sound, and none of them were all correct in pronouncing the words, as it is predictable since they were not from English major students. Among all 17 words, only 2 words, which were watch and started, were almost all pronounced correctly, with only 1% mispronouncing it each. However, the word inform and However, the word inform had the highest number of pronunciation, which recorded more than 10 out of 15 students of non-English major tend to not pronounce the ending word the for word inform, cancel, change, travel, and realize. Some of them choose to pronounce the ed past time word with the ending sound the on word experience, watch, cook, stop, walk, sleep, and finish. In ed past time with ending sound id of words provided, started, visited, enjoyed, and listed, most of them had picked up the right pronunciation.
Okay, I will be talking about finding external factor among English major students. Okay, 11 out of 15 English major students in IIUM agree that the living areas affect a person pastime ed usage because the students that living in the rural area are not likely exposed to the fluent English speakers that makes them not used to the right pronunciation of certain words. So that's make the words that come out in their communication in English comes out wrong. Okay, next is parents' occupation or professions affect the proficiency of English students. This is agreeing by most of the respondent, because parents that used to speak in English in their daily conversation, even at work, are more tend to speak in English with their child at home. So this is somehow boost the child confidence to speak in English among strangers or their friends. And next is, only 3 of the respondents doesn't speak English in their daily conversation with their family. And is proof that most of the English major students are used to speak in English with their families at home, and the majority of the respondents agree that families with educated backgrounds affect someone's knowledge on the correct usage of past tense ed allomorph, because most of the students that comes out from the educated background family tend to be more stand out than other students, because they have the confidence in themselves. And next is, 9 out of 15 respondents got exposed to some media that use English in their childhood. This is including the books in English or some program that speak in English. And next, someone interest can also be the main resources for them to improve their English or to expand their English vocabulary, because the interest that someone have, such as listening to English songs or watching movies or dramas with English subtitles or in English audio, or reading books in English, this interest can help them to have more wider English vocabulary.
For the external factors of non-English major, we found that most of the participants were from rural areas, and 8 of them agreed that staying in urban or rural areas can affect the usage of correct forms of past time EDLMO. And most of the participants for non-English majors have an Islamic educational background, and um, we found that only 2 participants have parents that working in English language based field, while the others are not. And 9 participants do not use English in their daily conversation, and the rest stated sometimes. And we found that most of them think that people with educated background family and family exposure towards English language can affect the correct use of EDL. And half of the participants have been exposed to media that use English language since child, while the others are not too much. But interestingly, their main interests have related to the usage of English language, with um, 4 participants have interest in songs, 4 in movie, 4 in books, 2 drama, and 1 nothing at all. Even though they are non-English majors, but they still interest in English language and not only to the Arabic language or so on.
In conclusion, from this whole study, we can say that although there are differences in both pronunciation and external factors relating to the past time EDLMOS between English majors and non-English major students, there are also similarities that can be found. Even if the level of proficiency of the English majors in the pronunciation of the allomorph is higher compared to non-English majors, they still make some mistakes similar to the latter. Similarly, even with all the mistakes made by the non-English majors, there are correct pronunciation made by them also. So, in all of this, we found that external factors do have correlation with the level of acquisition of the past tense ed allemorph between both majorings. Thank you.